ever feel like your timing is off when you're improvising, or you just get so lost in the changes and you can't find your way back? Well, this video is for you. Hi, I'm Donna Schwartz from DonnaSchwartzMusic.com, the site for practical tips and solutions to improve your music performance skills. I wanted to talk about something I observed amongst my jazz students this past week, and it was actually enlightening for me, because when you've been doing something a long time and you're a professional at it, you're an expert at it, you have to put your mind in the mind of someone who's beginning. And since I teach beginners all the time, I tend to think that I can do that pretty well. Well, no, this one actually stumped me. And you know what? I'm glad it did. Because the one thing that I always say to everybody is that you can never say that you know everything. And you can always learn something from somebody. And I'm always learning from my students. So this is what I learned this week from an observation. I was wondering why some of my students were having difficulty keeping good time with a backing track where the chords changed every measure. And I'm thinking to myself, gosh, this seems obvious to me when the chords change. Now, granted, the chords were pretty close together in terms of their relationships to each other, but I felt it was so obvious, and I'm sitting there thinking, what's going on? So I asked one of my students, I said, okay, what am I missing? What are you hearing when you're listening to that backing track? And he said to me, I'm hearing all this high stuff in the piano. And I'm saying, you mean like the right-hand piano? He's like, yeah, all this like stuff, what he was trying to say was the syncopated lines in the piano accompaniment. And then the light bulb went off for me, and I'm like, oh! So then I asked him, when you're listening to a piece of music or a song or whatever, what are you focusing on? And he was saying, oh, well, I listen to the melody, the singer, maybe the guitar. And then I thought, oh, this is very interesting. Why am I reacting this way? Because as a trained musician, we're trained to listen to all the parts of a song. Being classically trained, I'm used to hearing all those parts. When I studied with Vince Panzarella on trumpet in college, he had me visualizing hearing a tuba, flute, all these instruments as I was playing my long tones. And so that really helped expand my hearing. But what I found with my students, and it wasn't just this one student, it was a bunch, that they were keying in on just one element of the whole package of the song. And that was really interesting. And so I'm going to ask you, what do you focus on when you listen to a song? I don't care if it's jazz or rock or whatever. What are you listening to? I can bet you a majority of people, and I've been told this too, but now I get it. A majority of the people tend to listen to the singer. Unfortunately, people don't tend to listen to the instrumentalist as much, even if the instrumentalist has a melody, which kills me. But anyway, they tend to listen to the singer, or maybe some of the higher pitches coming out of the guitar or the piano. People generally don't key in on the bass. Now, they hear the drums, they feel the music, and most people react to rhythms, they feel them, and that's awesome. But in order to have success with improvisation, or honestly with studying any style of music, you need to get the whole picture, which means you should be listening to all the parts of the music. Now, your question to me may be, well, how do I do that? You take it one step at a time, okay? And your first step is trying to key in on one instrument at a time. So I'm going to play a little excerpt of a backing track for you. And I want you to listen to the different chords, but I want you to key in on one instrument. Okay, so, and I'm going to say, don't key on the piano. Key in on the bass. Okay, so let me play a little bit of this. Okay, bonus points if you could name that tune. I'm not going to say what it is right now. All right, what were you focusing on? Were you focusing on the stuff in the piano? Were you able to hear the bass? Were you able to know that that was the head of the tune? meaning that the bass plays something a little bit different, okay? And those of you that, are studying jazz will know that. So if you're able to focus on the bass, that's awesome. Now, how many of you, or you, should I ask, were you able to follow the chord changes? Or were you distracted by that piano part? Just some things to think about, okay? So one of the things that you can do when you're practicing jazz, or studying jazz really, when you listen, instead of listening to the solo line, listen to everything else. That's going to open up your ears to a wide array of sounds that you couldn't possibly imagine. It will also improve your timing. I hope you enjoyed this quick video tip, and I want to tell you about a free video lesson that's only out for a very short time, only for a week. You got to click the link below. The video lesson is the 3 keys to creating great jazz solos. Now, this is being filmed in October 2017. This will only be available for less than a week, so you got to click that link right now to get in on that training because it's going to go away. Okay, so if you miss out on that, if you're watching this later, you could definitely click on the info button where you can get another free video lesson, the 3 mistakes most jazz improvisers make and how you can avoid them. All right, so I got 2 little possibilities for you. But if you're watching this right now when I'm filming it, definitely click on that link to get that free training before it goes away. Thanks for joining me. Take care. Have a great day.